Hi, this is Ben Ames from DC Velocity. We're here in Chicago this week at ProMat 2025. And today at the show, we came by the Noblelift booth to talk with Bill Pedriana. Thank you for having us visit.
I'm glad you're here. Yeah, we have a lot to show at ProMat 2025, and I'm happy to go over a couple of the units we have on the floor with you.
Terrific. Maybe start out just with a quick get up to speed on who Noblelift is, what you sort of role you guys play in the industry.
Okay, so Noblelift cut its teeth on manual pallet trucks maybe about 30 years ago and became the dominant player in that market, so has the largest market share worldwide even today. To do that, they had to be a pretty astute manufacturer and also be very savvy when it comes to just basic business sense. That's led them to where they're at today, and you can see on the booth at the booth here at ProMat, we've got almost every class of material handling equipment represented. So starting from kind of those humble origins and really learning how to be a low-cost, high-quality manufacturer has put Noblelift in a position to really become a market leader on some new technologies like lithium product.
Great. So you mentioned new technologies. What is it that you guys are communicating here at the show this week?
So there's a couple different things. One is some of it's in the booth, some of it's outside of the booth. So one of the unique things about Noblelift is that we're known for our collaborations. So we actually manufacture machines for a lot of OEMs around the world on a white label basis. That's part of our business model. And so that collaboration culture is really strong throughout the booth and a lot of the things we're talking about at the show. When it comes to new technologies, we have some partners like Gather AI that has the new their new MHE vision system that is on a Noblelift machine in their booth. And we're going to allow free factory installations on that system throughout the entire year to help support that partnership. So there's a lot of things like that we could talk about in kind of how we go to market that are collaborative in nature. The things that are in the booth are mostly things related to lithium product. So when it comes to lithium product, once again, having that origin of being that manual pallet truck manufacturer, this is the newest kind of version of the typical basic MHE piece of equipment. The most basic piece of equipment there is a pallet jack, right? So we have swappable lithium batteries. We have 3 different form factors to choose from here. One of them, this is our Pro model. This is called the Edge Elite. So that's kind of our higher end, more like kind of logistics focused product. This is our mid-range Atom 2. And then this unit over here, the Avant, is being introduced this summer. That's actually made in Vietnam. So a lot of people are familiar with tariffs that are imposed on importers to the U.S. market. That's currently without tariff, made at our Vietnam factory. So very price aggressive, high quality, but getting people away from manual hand trucks to electric. That's what these kind of products in what we call Class 3.1 are all about. Then also in the more traditional, larger form factors, we have an end-control rider that's lithium with power steering now. And then our new model right there is the PT45 LLI. That's a purpose-built lithium truck, 4,500 pound capacity. And you can see the structure of that machine is much more heavy duty to take the abuse of like back of store, at the dock, but with a very thin profile for effective turning and operation in those facilities.
Real range of stuff here, and I know that you have a lot of other stuff in the booth. Maybe we can take a walk and go look at some more.
Yeah, let's go take a look at a few more machines.
Great. Great, now we're in another corner of the booth, and Bill, what do we have here?
So this is our new walkie reach truck, and this is actually my favorite truck in like the whole industry because it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. So a walkie reach truck allows you really tight turning radius when the pantograph is fully retracted. So it's like a straddle stacker in that configuration. When that pantograph is extended beyond the straddle legs of the truck, it becomes a counterbalance machine. So when it's counterbalanced, you can handle anything on the forks just like a sit-down forklift. When it's retracted, you have that tight turning radius and low weight, the gross weight of the vehicle that you would get from a straddle truck. The thing that's cool about our new Walkie Reach is that it has another feature that some of the industry, our competitors don't have, which really changes the nature of this product, which is this button right here, which is the moonwalk function. So once this is activated, what happens is the drive wheel gets locked out, and it allows you to operate from the side of the vehicle here, and the truck tracks forward and aft, like without even though the tiller is turned here, the truck in the moonwalk configuration is going forward and aft in a straight line. What that allows the operator to do is 2 things. One is visibility through a mast is also always very much a challenge with a reach truck because you have that mechanism that's always kind of like blocking your view. Being able to operate the vehicle from the side and put away at rack does 2 things. One, You've got a great line of sight on the product. The other thing is you're not standing behind the machine, which increases the overall length of the machine. So you can work in a much tighter aisle. And then combine that with lithium battery, we've got a real winner here. Should be in the market after July 1st.
Coming up soon. Very
Coming up
good.
very soon, yeah, along with a lot of other models we have on the floor today.
All right. You mentioned other models. Let's take one more trip around and we'll see a couple
good.
more.
Sounds good.
Great. And now we're in a third spot in your booth over here. It sounds like we have even more vehicles to look at.
Yeah, this is now our counterbalance truck. So these are our lithium machines, leading out with the Alpha, the G series, which we'll probably call the Gamma when we release it next year, and then our Q series, which is our current model offering in this lithium category. These are all pneumatic tired trucks, so what typically the industry would call Class 5 for outdoor use, but with lithium battery technology built into them. The goal of these machines is to convert users from IC machines, carbon-based machines, over to clean electric power. That's the whole idea of these three vehicles. And this vehicle in particular, you can see that it has a very interesting amount of design on here with what we call Project Alpha. So this is a new project that we just announced today. It's the world's first open source forklift. So that's kind of a radical concept in our industry. Right, very radical, actually, in some regards, to use an open source community and open up the details of the machine like that for development by, kind of a non, basically a university programs and things of that nature. The goal is to drive down this cost every year. So this is version 1. So this is the Alpha 50 V1.0. And the intention of the project is to work with university programs, engineering programs, build a community to try to get this cost and the ongoing cost of operation of a lithium forklift as low as possible to help people all over the world get away from the fossil fuel burning vehicles and convert to electric. So one of the neat things about this is the Alpha is actually available in an IC version as well, which seems kind of counterintuitive, right? But IC is still needed in some applications because we're part of the critical supply chain in material handling, and LP still has a role. It's always probably going to have some role. The benefit of having two chassis is we can do two things. One, we can share all of the different components, so we have scale of components between the two, which helps on the cost side and the reliability side. And the other part is that if somebody was to buy an Alpha IC truck, they can actually, after its first life, retrofit it to be a lithium if they're not ready to convert today. 7 years from now, something like that, we could convert it to an Alpha lithium truck down the road as a retrofit. So Project A launched today, announced today, world's first open source forklift. So really excited to see what the industry has to say about this one. Moving right next to it is the G series. So this is going to be probably called Gamma. Don't know yet. Kind of like the Alpha. Maybe see the G series will be the Gamma. But this will be our high performance version of this truck for things like scrap yards and that kind of application where they need something that just has a little bit more power and they're willing to pay a premium to get that kind of performance from this type of machine. And then finally on the last one is our current model. That's the Q series. So the Q series is our current product that's offered through all Noblelift dealers across North America. Very, very popular because you have a low price point, common form factor for the industry, and lithium at the cost that's below what you would get even in a lead acid battery.
Fascinating stuff. You guys are making some real strides here. It'll be really cool to see how it plays out.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have a lot of different things to offer, and we're just gotten started. If people follow us on online or in social media, you'll see that we have a new phrase. It's "We are Noble, expect more."
Love it. And so we have some more additional days coming up of ProMat here, and people can stop by the booth and see it all themselves.
Yeah, and I believe we're in the, we're in the South Hall and 3531, I believe, in the South Hall. Come and see us if you're at the show.
Nailed it. This has been Ben Ames with DC Velocity here at ProMat 2025.